You must be aware of the fact that our oceans have become extremely dirty. They have become so bad that there are reports of dead fish floating on the ocean's surface. Why is it happening, and how can we solve this issue? We often visit the sea, have good food, and enjoy the time. But after returning home, some people either leave trash on the shore or dump it in the sea. This is what makes the oceans worse. But what if we tell you there's a campaign that aims to clean our oceans? Sounds great, right? So let's check out and find out how this major issue will be solved. Do you know about 8 million metric tons of garbage are dumped in the ocean every year? That's about 17.6 billion pounds. According to a report, it is expected that there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050. There is so much trash accumulated in the ocean that it has formed garbage patches. You won't believe it, but the Great Pacific Garbage Patch has an estimated 1.8 trillion pieces of trash. This much trash is covered an area twice the size of Texas. Can you imagine trash in such a huge amount? Once the trash is broken into smaller pieces known as microplastics by the sun and ocean waves, it becomes even more dangerous. After all, it finds its way into the food chain because it takes almost 400 years to biodegrade. The most disturbing fact is about 70% of the trash sits at the bottom of the ocean, and we might never be able to clean it. This is not the only reason why the oceans are in bad condition. Noise pollution, which is generated by shipping and military activities, can cause cellular damage to a special class of invertebrates, including jellyfish and anemones. And if they won't survive, how will other marine animals survive? These are vital food sources for fish, sharks, sea turtles, and other sea creatures. Apart from this, chemical pollution is greatly affecting our oceans. A sudden rise is noticed in the number of zones that are now uninhabitable for fishes and other creatures due to the lack of oxygen. According to a non-profit organization called the Ocean Cleanup, most of the plastic that ends up in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch comes from thousands of rivers in the world. This is a relatively small number, and most of these rivers go through densely populated cities and towns. These rivers pick up the garbage from the cities and towns and flush them into the sea. The major rivers contributing to this cause are the Niles and Niger River in Africa. The Yangtze River in China is one of the major contributors because it travels in some of the most densely populated areas. After years of hard work, research, and studies, a solution by the name of Interceptor has now been put forward by the Ocean Cleanup Organization. In order to control the problem of plastic waste in our water, Ocean Cleanup introduced a machine in 2016, a solar, energy-driven machine with amazing functions. It is made of plastic and can clean up to 50,000 kilograms of plastic per day, or the weight of about 9 elephants. The long barrier of the Interceptor allows any garbage to travel into the machine's opening. The trash then passes through the main conveyor belt, removing all the debris and placing it into the main shuttle. The trash is then distributed across 6 different bins through sensors. When enough trash is collected, the machine sends a message to the workers who unload the load of debris and send it to local recyclers. While the creators of the Interceptor are still in doubt about the massive amounts of debris they will collect, they have found ways to recycle a good amount of debris into useful products. This will be extremely beneficial for the oceans, the recyclers, and manufacturers. Only 3 interceptors are currently working in the oceans. Still, the Ocean Cleanup Organization is in touch with many nations to install more and more of these machines as soon as possible. The first interceptor, the Sengkarang drain, was placed in Jakarta, Indonesia. This machine has been performing its duties since 2016. In the same year, another interceptor was placed in the Klang River, Malaysia. The most recent interceptor was placed in the Dominican Republic in 2020. A single interceptor cost $770,000. This is surely a big amount, but if you look at its economic and environmental benefits, every penny is justified. Also, this price is very low as compared to the environmental and economic damage that occurs due to plastic and garbage accumulation. Although the Interceptor is the Ocean Cleanup most important project, the company is also working on many other smarter initiatives to speed up the ocean cleanup process. It is planned to collect 90% of the ocean's garbage and stop 80% of it from coming into the oceans through rivers. In order to achieve such high goals, the Interceptor is not their only project. It has started another project by the name of System 001 in September 2018, which is based on extensive research. The system was built to address the huge amount of waste in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. System 001 started working in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch for about 4 months. Several things were noticed during its working, such as the system's stability, configuration, and the ability to orient with the wind. No doubt, for the organization, System 001 was an important milestone for them. Furthermore, during their environmental monitoring, no environmental impact issues were detected. However, it was noticed that there were a few problems. The system was not effectively retaining plastic. Later, when the team thought to resolve the issue, a fatigue fracture caused an 18-meter section of the system to detach. Luckily, the crew and machine safely returned to the shore in Hilo, Hawaii. They concluded a detailed lesson from the System 001 campaign. From this experience, they will correctly build and optimize technology on their road towards system validation. After thorough research, trials, and experience, the engineers thought to modify the design and invent a new machine. It took less than 4 months to build, design, and assemble the new system, 001B. In June of 2019, it was placed into the Great Pacific Garbage Patch for testing. Because of the system's modularity, the organization was able to test multiple modifications aimed at solving the plastic retention problem observed during the System 001 campaign. At the end of July 2021, the ocean cleanup returned to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch to trial System 002, the latest technology of their ocean cleanup system. The 12-week test campaign was conducted successfully. System 002 will continue harvesting plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. They have started working on System 03, a larger, upgraded ocean system, which is expected to be the blueprint design for scaling of a fleet of systems. Cleaning the oceans is a tedious job, and it requires the help of everyone all around the world. It is not only the job of the Oceans Cleanup Organization, but each and every one that is living in the world and breathing its air and drinking its water. We should all be cautious of where we dispose our trash and products we buy. This organization also encourages everyone to participate in the Ocean Cleanup Program. You can help them by donating money online through the website. As a responsible citizen and human being, join hands and help whatever you can. You can either donate or become a volunteer at this organization. Otherwise, that day isn't far where the damage might be irreversible. Remember that prevention is better than killing. That's what we all should try to do. We should try to reduce our use of plastic to a minimum as possible. And then we should try to recycle that plastic, which is inevitable from use. The algae in the oceans provide more than 80% of the world's oxygen. So if there is a huge dump of plastics and other garbage in the oceans, algae will eventually die and deprive us of much needed oxygen. Marine life is the most important part of our ecosystem. Disturbance in marine life will also lead to a general environmental disturbance. Therefore, let's promise not to use plastic as much as we can and recycle the rest of it. That's all for today's video. We hope you found this video interesting. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more future videos. Press the bell icon and stay notified whenever we post a video. See you in the next video.